The Art Lewis Show. We have a busy morning. Later on this hour, we'll be talking to Jamie Furbush, who is the head of the CVB in Frankenmuth. At 10 o'clock this morning, Mike Stoddard from Westside Decorating is going to come a-calling. And at 11 o'clock this morning, we're going to learn about Right at Home Senior Care. But we're going to start the hour for a few minutes talking to Dr. Steve Vance from the CMU Medical School, and he is with the residency program. And Steve, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So what's going on? Because I know you contacted me and said you have something coming up, and it's pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, we're really excited. We have our third annual Hearts and Paddles pickleball tournament this weekend on Saturday, Sunday over at the Garber Courts. And this is really a benefit to raise money for heart healthy and cardiac wellness programs and research in the region. The event has grown year over year, and we've now combined it for the last 2 years with a health expo run by the Saginaw County Medical Society. And so I really want to make sure that the folks out there know about this expo. It's running 10 to 1 p.m. Tomorrow, Saturday, at the Garber Courts in that area down by the YMCA and the Crayola Park. We have lots of vendors there. Elena's Foundation will be there providing free flu shots. So just bring your insurance card. And if you don't have insurance, we'll set you up with a shot either way. We've got our powering sponsor, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, and they're coming down with Eric Hipple, the old NFL Detroit Lions quarterback, and he's going to be helping us out and playing some pickleball with us as well. But a number of other vendors, My Michigan Health and Covenant, which have both been big sponsors. We have chiropractic organizations, the Commission on Aging, the YMCA, a lot of healthy options and folks that can help us increase the amount of physical activity in our life, eat well, and prevent cardiovascular disease.
So I have to ask, Steve, are you prepared for an influx of injuries in the emergency room? Here's the reason I asked that. I got three senior friends who play pickleball. One broke his leg, one broke his wrist, the other hurt his hand.
Oh, boy.
All playing pickleball, this mild game, you know.
Yeah, the intensity can get up there. We're going to have a number of highly competitive teams tomorrow. But, yes, I have a first aid kit down on the down at the site, and then if anything's significant, the ER is always open.
So when does all this start?
It starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Now, there is a lot of construction going down on Ezra Rust, and so folks can just come down Fordney Street. For those that are handicapped or have some difficulty with walking, we'll have some parking spots right there in front at Garber Courts on Fordney, and we'll and the actual health expo will be further down in the parking lot, headed towards the Anderson Enrichment Center. If you don't have trouble, then feel free to park over at the Crayola Park or the YMCA over at the Old Water Park and walk on over. We'd love to see you.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. But again, come on out, hear about the options out there. A lot of free swag will be handed out. And then again, flu shots, cholesterol screening, blood sugar screening, high blood pressure checks. We'll have it all.
All right. Let me ask you one last question.
Sure.
How are we doing with the medical school coming to town?
Hey, we're working on it. I was just out at SVSU this week. President McKinnon gave a discussion to the Economic Club, a presentation that was very positive, talked about our commitment to the region, our commitment to uniting all 4 years in Saginaw and bringing the additional medical students, faculty, and staff to the area. So we are pushing forward on the project. We needed a little bit of time to get our feet under us with our new board of trustees and our new presidential transition. We're currently starting a new dean search, but very exciting. We're doing right things. Our graduates are doing great work, and we are committed to the region.
Dr. Cacano retire fully?
Yeah, he's actually, is my understanding that he is leading a health education program over at Northwood. I don't know the details of that, but he'll still be around in the region, and we all appreciate his 10 years that he gave to the College of Medicine really transformed the college, and we all still stay in touch.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for filling us in on what's happening.
You bet. Thanks for letting me talk about it. We hope
anytime, Steve. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Art. Bye.
Dr. Steve Vance, he is with the College of Medicine. He's the assistant dean of the residency program here in Saginaw. And what we're going to do now is take a break. When we come back, we have a guest in studio from the Frankenmuth CVB. As a matter of fact, she runs it. We'll tell you more.
Gotta go.
What's happening in Frankenmuth? Something's. Oh, you just came off the auto show. Which
big weekend.
Huge. That's one of the biggest, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, probably our biggest of the year. Maybe it ties, I think, for Memorial Day, and depending on the year, Snowfest is up there too. So those those are our big three. Yeah.
So explain to everybody, first of all, the CVB in Frankenmuth and what the role is of a CVB for those that don't know.
Yeah, we've been having some fun here talking about history on the break.
Yeah,
but,
we have.
I think that's interesting. A lot of the community doesn't really know. We know what chambers of commerce do with business organizations, networking, education, advocacy, those kind of things. But the Convention and Visitors Bureau side of our business in Frankenmuth, and globally, not just here in Frankenmuth, but our friends across the state and the nation, Convention and Visitors Bureaus are really destination marketing and management organizations. We're stewards of the destination, the place that people want to come as a visitor into our communities. And it could be big cities, small cities, rural cities. In our case, I think we're sort of rural resort area, right? And so we, for many, many years, decades, been doing a lot of marketing and advertising, promotion, visitor services, taking care of the visitors when they're here, providing resources like visitor guides and maps and restrooms and all the things that make a visitor experience.
And the neat thing about it is locals don't pay for this.
Correct.
It's all the people coming in that pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Convention and Visitors Bureaus are funded on a model through the visitor. It's the visitor economy that supports itself through, hotel tax.
If you ever stay in a hotel, folks,
yes,
you get that extra tax on there.
You don't know what it's going for. Right. Yes. So when you use the public restrooms or the visitor services and you have questions and somebody's there to answer them, that's what that's helping to do. And so we've been doing that, as you know, for decades in Frankenmuth. But in recent 10 years or more, there's been a real push, again, not just here in our region, but throughout the country for CVBs to really do more in the destination development, helping that tourism economic development grow our communities in ways that complement the sense of place for the residents and the people who live there, but also are attractive enough to help grow future visitation.
You're dependent on people using it as a destination. Now, Frankenmuth doesn't have to worry about that too much, but other CVBs do. And what, to me, looking in as an outsider now, one of the big changes I see is the willingness of a CVB to spend money locally,
yes,
for an attraction or a promotion of some kind. Where before all our dollars went to promotion to bring people into the area, nothing was spent in the area.
Right. As residents, we didn't really see the work, which is why most people don't know what a Convention and Visitors Bureau or DMO is, because the dollars always went out and we're putting advertising out of state or in Detroit area and Canada and all over. And, sending people to bus shows and helping bring buses back from out of state and those kind of things. But you're right. In the more recent future, we've been working on some of these initiatives, the one we'll talk about today, for nearly a decade. And but big projects take a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of dollars. And so the strategy of our board and a lot of boards, like our partners at the Go Great CVB, have been to help invest in things that will be not only visitor attractions, but also complement the needs of the local community. So our new big project, I keep saying, is a tourism-powered project with community at its heart, which really sort of fills my tank as a local resident, because it's sort of like we get the best of both worlds, and we get to show a little bit and have an investment in our own community.
So tell everybody what this project is.
Yeah, so we are leading up the development of the Great Lakes Bay Frankenmuth Sports Complex. It's a purpose-built facility we will have a little over 100,000 square feet of multi-use court space, volleyball, basketball, pickleball, 6 full basketball courts that convert to 12 volleyball courts, intended to bring tournaments.
Fitness center? You're gonna
a
have
fitness center, yeah.
So this is, for us here in Saginaw in this region, it would be comparable to the Freeland Sports Zone.
Yeah, similar, bigger, but similar. The management of it will be different because our purpose, being that the Convention and Visitors Bureau is running it, is to really bring tournaments in. So, but our feasibility, our pro forma and our operational forecasts really target about 31. We hope to exceed it, but with about 31 big tournaments a year, different sports and activities and events that we'll have there. Those will get first priority. And so bringing people from the outside to utilize the facility, stay in the hotels, hopefully, grow hotels in our neighboring communities. We, quite frankly, don't have enough hotel space in Frankenmuth alone. So we're relying on some of our neighbors in Bridgeport, Bertrand, Buena Vista to, develop some of that.
That's interesting because when I was on the CVB in the late 90s and early 2000s, they were building a lot of the properties in Bertrand.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all sitting there scratching our heads going, what are we going to do with all these hotel rooms?
Mm-hmm.
Here we are today. We need more hotel rooms.
Yeah. They, this last weekend, even with AutoFest, right?
Oh.
You can see we have lots of visitors that are staying all, in Bay City and
everywhere,
all throughout the region because it's just, sold out a year in advance. And so, as we have demand for space that continues to grow with developments like this, it'll create the demand for additional tourism-based economic development.
What's the time frame on this sports center?
So we hope to, about a year from now is when we hope to break ground. We're still, we have our conceptual designs and everything here I can share with you to put on your website, but we have some schematic design and we're currently out for bid. I think they just received them back actually for our construction management company at risk, and so we'll be awarding those very shortly. We hope to have a shovel in the ground about a year from now. It should open the end of 2027.
And with construction costs the way they are today,
the sooner the better.
I was going to say, because you've been talking about it a long time.
Yes.
Every year you talk about it, the price goes up.
Yeah, and we've had to amend our plan because we've been working on it so long. We've done multiple, we've gone back at it multiple times to tweak and evaluate and amend it. So we're now on a pace to, move forward with the plans that we have set in stone.
So the CVB is spearheading it, but the CVB can't be paying for it all.
No, absolutely not. No, yeah. We are a
contributor.
A big contributor. Yeah, and so the project itself is going to exceed $30 million, and we have a significant investment in that. We were blessed to receive the support of the state of Michigan with a support from them, and I have to thank Representative O'Neill and Representative Bierlein, who really helped champion it with all the nonpartisan, with all of the leaders in the region, and even quite frankly, like the Speaker of the House was so supportive as he realized the kind of impact that this can have on our region. A facility like this run the way that we intend to run it, So it's exciting. We also have, obviously, we have a funding gap, but we have some incredible champions in our business community that have not only advocated for years for this project, but literally have put their own skin in the game. We have some team captains. Of course, our lead tourism businesses, the Bavarian Inn Corporation and the Bronner's Family Foundation, have been incredible leading donors. They have both kicked in $1.5 million. Which
is interesting from the Bavarian Inn folks because they just spent umpteen millions on that splash.
Yes, exactly. Their plans for growth are just starting. So this is
don't blink.
They're excited for the future of Frankenmuth and think this is a big part of it. So we also have the Frankenmuth Credit Union, who's in for over $1 million. Our friends at the Saginaw County Convention and Visitors Bureau have a Tourism Economic Development Fund, and we're supportive of our project as well. Even some of our smaller tourism businesses have committed already. We've just launched our capital campaign, quite frankly, just about a week and a half ago. And so But the Frankenmuth Jellystone Park, for example, made a commitment to us, a significant commitment as well. And TriStar Trust, yesterday we were at their Be a Light celebration and are grateful to have been included in all the good work that they're doing, shining a light on so many organizations throughout the region. And so they'll be a part of this as well, and many more to come.
And visualizing Frankenmuth, I have to believe this is going to be at the north end of town.
It is, yes. So, and there's actually a couple phased approach. So this indoor complex will be on the north end of town, kind of behind Kremen, just south of the Uptown North Main banquet facility there.
I have this split image of Frankenmuth.
Yeah.
I have the tourist area from Junction South.
Uh-huh.
And I have the residential Frankenmuth to the north.
Well, our residential services tend to be more on the north end of town, so you're not wrong. I do think
but that's where the land is too.
It is, yeah. And so there's probably going to be some good development, I think, as a result of this project on the north end, and we're excited about that and how it can help the local community grow in a nice way. So,
A question that's outside the CVB's scope of things, but I have to ask it anyway. With all this development, Frankenmuth does a lot of development to attract tourism, obviously, because it's his bread and butter. Population doesn't seem to grow. Population seems pretty stable in Frankenmuth.
Yeah, we've had
6,000 roughly, something like that.
Yeah, under 6,000.
Under
still
6,000.
even,
So everything comes into town except new residents.
Yeah. There have not been any major housing developments. We have I shouldn't say that. There's been a couple big houses built, but not any quantity.
Subdivisions.
Correct. A new subdivision of any sort. However, there are a couple in the works, from what I understand with our folks at the City of Frankenmuth. So I'm sure Bridget will come back on and talk more about that. But just yesterday at the DDA meeting, we talked a little bit about that. And I think there's a pretty exciting development coming and some new opportunity for residential development in our area as well.
Because we need housing around here, not just Frankenmuth, everywhere. Because we've got Corning looking for 1,500 people, although they have many of them hired now. Hemlock Semiconductors looking for a couple of hundred. SK Siltron's looking for a couple of hundred. A lot of companies looking and investing.
We have a lot of
kids.
kids.
We have to have a place to house these people.
Yeah, we think about our young professionals, our kids, the next generation. It happens so fast, right? When they want to come home and there's nowhere for them to invest and to put their roots back home. So really trying to help grow and welcome new residents to the community.
Downside is that $300 a square foot starting to build a house. I mean,
it's expensive.
You used to be able to build a good starter home for 100, 125, maybe 150,000. Now it's 300,000 and 400,000. And you just shake your head.
Yeah, there's some creative things I think that the state's been trying to do to help areas throughout our state. We're not alone. Right. Everybody's struggling with this issue, right?
All right, we're going to take a break. Talking to Jamie Ferber. She is the head of the CVB in Frankenmuth, and talking about their new sports complex and other things going on. And we will do that when we return. Let me take a moment to talk about Quick Lane Freeland and McDonald Ford. They're together, and Quick Lane is part of McDonald Ford. It's where you go for all your routine service, including something they put into the air conditioning system in your car that keeps you healthy. It's called FrigiFresh. And here's John from Quick Lane to tell you about it.
FrigiFresh. Hi.
All right, we are back with you, and with me in studio is Jamie Furbush. She heads up the CVB in Frankenmuth, and I've been out of the business now since 2008, and we were members of the National Tour Association, the NTA, and I used to do all those conventions. Do we still do those things?
Yeah,
and the ABA,
and NTA. We don't go to both of them every year. Usually. And now I'm going to get confused on to which one. I think it was ABA, actually was hosted in Detroit a couple of years ago. And so we kept having our own booth, which was first time we had done that maybe in our history. We always go to the shows, but having your own booth's a big deal. That's a big production and more expense. So anyway, yeah,
I have to laugh. That was always the big difference between the ABA and the NTA.
Okay.
Because
I
in
might have
the
them
ABA,
backwards.
no.
Okay, do I have
in
it right?
the ABA, you had a booth, and all the operators run around, make appointments.
Yes.
The NTA, the operators all had the booth, and all of you ran around making appointments.
Right. Yes.
That's why I like the NTA so much. I can sit down.
Sit down. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
But those organizations, they're still viable, aren't they?
Yeah, in fact, the motor coach market, we were talking on the break a bit, the motor coach market's been very good. This is a really busy time for us with motor coach groups in Frankenmuth. I feel like it's come
prior to
better,
COVID?
Better than COVID. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the motor coach groups have come back stronger after the pandemic.
Glad
Like
to
our
hear
meeting and convention markets were slow to roll back after the pandemic. Which is why a lot
Can you say Zoom?
Right, exactly. And, I think people are just a little bit more selective about their time, work time investments and whatnot. And so longer conventions have struggled a little bit more, but to come back. But the motor coach market definitely has done well for us coming out of the pandemic.
I have to ask, there was a time when the splash parks came along. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to go to one, you had to go to Grey Wolf or whatever it is, or the Natives built one, and then Zenders built one. There are not too many towns the size of Frankenmuth that have two.
No, no.
How well is it doing? How well is the new Bavarian Inn unit doing?
Really well. They're things. It is amazing, and I even think about I've lived in Frankenmuth for a little over 20 years, and how it's evolved and changed. But it's such a cool thing to me because we're rooted in the same values and core things, no matter how we grow. And so it's one of the things I really love about our town, and that's because of so much of the local ownership, right? And so it's a little bit different than other destinations that you'll go to that have water parks that might be corporate owned or, they're not family owned. And to have two that are as big as they are in one destination, and to have them family owned is an incredible
and both succeeding.
Yeah. So there's no other community in Michigan that has is a water park destination like we are now. And it's funny because we think of water parks like Splash Village at Zenders when they built theirs, and now of course the Bavarian Blast, but Judy Zender back in the day created one of the first water parks, probably before there were slides, right? To have 5 indoor indoor pools.
Yeah.
And the family fun center that was, and now this has become very, very, these are very popular amenities around these water parks that are like the Bavarian Blast is now. But
the late Judy Zender Keller, she was on my board and when I was on the CVB. And I learned early on, dealing with Judy, there was no such thing as no.
It's probably why Judy and I got along so well.
If she had the idea, get out of the way.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Love that about her.
It was amazing.
Yes, and I think her family's carrying on that tradition very well in her honor.
Too.
And so we're really grateful to be able to grow the destination and have our businesses grow the destination in a way, and the community in a way that is on a level with much bigger destinations and out of state, quite frankly. Like you think of Sandusky, Ohio, where there's Cedar Point,
yeah.
and they have multiple water parks, or the Wisconsin Dells or other, water park destinations. That's sort of where we look to compete.
Well, the thing about Frankenmuth, as successful a community it is, being, depending who you talk to, the number 1 or number 2 tourist attraction in the state all the time. You bring 3 million people into town in a year or something like that.
I mean, it's 4 seasons, so that helps us,
seasons.
Right? Yeah.
But they never rest on their laurels.
No, that's the faith-based community. They're hardworking. There's a lot of the German roots and the faith that come into play there. There's a real work ethic that just a passion to continue to do things in a quality way that provides.
They only know first class.
Yeah,
They don't do anything second rate.
We like things to be beautiful and safe and all those things. So,
all All right, we'll take a quick break, come back. We are talking to Jamie Furbush from the CVB in Frankenmuth.
We're proud to make
We're back with you, Jamie Furbush from the Frankenmuth CVB in studio with us. What's on the Furbush crystal ball list? What do you want to see now that you're going to work on a sports complex? What's next? Because you guys are always thinking ahead.
Oh my goodness, I can't really think beyond the sports complex, to be quite honest. But I will say that every time when we're doing setting up some of our structural things that we have for this sports complex development, it's the biggest thing we've ever done, obviously, and
as a community.
As a community, yes, and so I keep saying, we got to, when we set up the way that we're gonna fund this, is this, our part in the CVB. We have to look ahead at what the next tourism development things are that we can't even, our next generation of leaders is going to really help some of that, right? And I know that our business owners have some ideas on things that they're going to help lead the way in some other directions. But I think that, we've been known for chicken and Christmas, for being Michigan's Little Bavaria, the German, for generations of families that come for those things. And then over the years, we grew to be well known for festivals and beer and fun and all that good stuff. And now also you add water parks to that, like we were talking about. And I think the future of that includes youth sports, even though there's been people that have been coming to Frankenmuth for baseball tournaments for many, many years. And so it's not entirely new for us, but kind of like having a water park and all of a sudden now being a water park destination because you have these two massive things. Sort of the same in our being known as a destination, not just for a couple ball tournaments, but as a youth sports destination is sort of what I see in the crystal ball for us. Beyond that, gosh, I don't really know. We have some other exciting projects, like I said, that our businesses are working on. So Zenders, you've probably heard or seen even maybe some of their development with the old mill that they have restored into a beautiful boutique hotel. And so we're very excited for that to open. And some of the work they've done over at the golf course, at the Fortress Golf Course is... The new pavilion is beautiful, and they have other future plans there at the golf course, too, which I think will be outstanding when you talk about people wanting to host events and other big things, not even just golf-related, but, weddings and other special events in Frankenmuth. It's a place that people think of when you want to have a special event, right? It's what brought me to Frankenmuth, quite honestly. My husband and I were engaged there, and then had our wedding there shortly before. We ended up moving to Frankenmuth. Didn't take very long for them to recruit us, but yeah.
Well, it's an interesting community, and its history is interesting, how it got to where it is today.
Oh, it's all about the history, really. Because we wouldn't be Michigan's Little Bavaria if it weren't for the founding, right, in 1845. And as we're reflecting on that a lot right now and talking about how do we tell that story a little bit more and better. Actually, we have our friends from Under the Radar coming next week to film a series that will launch next year, along with the country's 250th birthday, to talk about Frankenmuth being 180 years old and what some of the historical stuff really means to how we are what we are today. And you think about the Frankenmuth Woolen Mill, right? It's over 130 years old. The history, the museum, the church tours, the things that people can come and do and see a part of working history that's still relevant today.
I always thought Frankenmuth would be a good site for some kind of major museum.
Yeah. Well, the Michigan Heroes Museum, of course,
that's so specialized.
It's specialized, yes. It's very small, yeah.
I just think some kind of major museum is destined for there.
Okay, well, we'll put that on the list.
Think of this with the car show you have every year. Maybe it's an auto museum. or something like that.
We have some. We love our car show people.
Yes,
we have a real good connection with a lot of those folks. So.
Can't imagine. So let's remind everybody again, the sports complex, you're taking bids now.
Yep, and we are, like I said, we're just kind of have launched a capital campaign to kind of fill a funding gap, and so we'll be out in the community looking for businesses and family foundations and groups that want to help us, get this across the finish line here.
You hope to break ground in 26, finish by 27.
Correct. End of 27. Yep.
Very good, Jamie. It's always fun.
Thank you so much,
have to
Art,
do
for
this
having
again.
me. Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to be back.
Jamie Furbush from the Frankenmuth CVB. We thank you for coming in today and chatting with us, and keep